The Bible, regarded as one of the most influential texts in human history, loved, studied, debated, and often misunderstood. Let's take a look at 5 of the most commonly misinterpreted verses in the Bible and what they really mean. 1. Money is the root of all evil. We've all heard it before, but did you know that's not what the Bible actually says? In Timothy, the Bible states, "For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil." That little word, love, makes all the difference. Money itself isn't evil. It's a tool, like a hammer. You can build a house with it, or you can smash a window. It's the obsession with money, when it becomes the point of life, that causes real damage. Greed, corruption, exploitation. That's what the verse warns about. Let's talk about someone who had a lot of money but wasn't ruled by it. Chuck Finney, co-founder of duty-free shoppers, made billions. But unlike other billionaires, Chuck lived simply. No mansion, no luxury cars. He even flew coach. And here's the twist. He gave away nearly all of his $8 billion fortune while he was still alive. Universities, medical research, global health. His money went towards helping millions. He didn't hoard it. He didn't make it his identity. He used it as a tool to make the world better. So, money isn't the root of all evil. The love of money, the obsession with getting more, no matter the cost, that's where evil begins. Chuck Finney had wealth, but he wasn't owned by it. And prove that you can be rich and righteous, if your heart is in the right place. 2. God helps those who help themselves. It sounds wise, doesn't it? Like something straight out of Proverbs. But here's the truth. That's not a Bible verse. In fact, it's never mentioned in the Bible at all. The phrase comes from Benjamin Franklin in his Poor Richard's Almanac from 1736, not Jesus. Its roots can be traced back to Greek philosophy, not biblical teachings. Now sure, self-discipline and hard work are valuable, but the Bible actually emphasizes something quite different. Over and over, the Scripture shows God helping people who can't help themselves. The poor, the sick, the broken, the outcast, the sinner. Psalm 72:12 says, "He will deliver the needy who cry out, the afflicted who have no one to help." God isn't sitting back with his arms crossed waiting for you to earn his help. He steps in when you're weak, not when you're strong. Think of it this way. Imagine someone is drowning. They're flailing, panicking, can't stay afloat. Would you shout from the shoreline,
"Swim harder. God helps those who help themselves"?
Of course not. You throw them a rope. You jump in. That's how grace works. Jesus didn't come to help the strong. He came to help the desperate. When we believe God only helps those who help themselves, we begin to think people in poverty may not be trying hard enough. Oh, you're struggling with mental health? You should just get it together. Do you actually need help? Or are you just being lazy? But that's not compassion. That is nothing more than pride disguised as wisdom. The gospel teaches something else entirely. So the next time someone says God helps those who help themselves, remind them, actually, God helps those who can't help themselves. And you should be thankful for God. Because honestly, we all fall into that category sometimes. Number 3. Judge not that you be not judged. You've probably heard someone say it. Maybe even you have. And yes, that does sound like Jesus. But is that what he actually meant? Let's look at the most misunderstood Bible verse about judgment. In today's world, the verse has become the go-to defense for, well, everything. Don't question my choices. Don't call out my behavior. Only God can judge me. But here's the thing. Jesus wasn't saying, live and let live, no questions asked. He was actually warning against a very specific kind of judgment. Let's look at the full context. Matthew 7 continues with, "For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you." Jesus isn't banning all judgment. He's talking about hypocritical judgment. It's like calling someone out for lying when you lie constantly, or judging someone else's relationship when yours is in a mess as well. Jesus actually encouraged wise judgment. In John 7:24, he says, "Do not judge by appearances, but judge with right judgment." That's the key word. Right. Not petty, not harsh, not self-righteous. Just, fair, and humble. Calling out injustice. That's right judgment. Holding each other accountable with love and grace. That's also correct judgment. There's a big difference between, "Hey, I'm worried about the path that you're on," and, "Wow, you're a terrible person for doing that." One is rooted in love, the other is rooted in pride. So, did Jesus say to never judge? Not quite. He said, "Don't judge like a hypocrite. And if you do judge, be ready to be held to the same standard." Number 4, an eye for an eye. People often use an eye for an eye to justify getting even. You hurt me, I'll hurt you back. You stole from me, I'll take from you. But is that what the Bible is really teaching? Let's find out. The verse comes from Exodus 21:24. Eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, and foot for foot. But this wasn't about personal revenge. It was part of Israel's legal system, designed to limit punishment, not encourage violence. It's called the law of retaliation, or lex talionis in Latin. It meant the punishment had to fit the crime. No more, no less. So if someone injured another person, they couldn't be executed for it. The law said no escalating things. It was about justice, not revenge. Then Jesus comes along and takes it further. You have heard that it was said, eye for eye and tooth for tooth. But I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn them the other also. Matthew 5:38-39. Jesus didn't just limit retaliation. He said to lay it down completely. He wasn't canceling justice, but he was calling us to a higher standard. Mercy, forgiveness, peace. Think about it. If someone wrecks your car, the court orders them to pay for the damage, not to destroy their car in return. That's what eye for an eye was about, proportional justice. So when it comes to your personal life, choose grace over vengeance. Number 5, the Antichrist and Satan. Thanks to Hollywood and pop culture, the Antichrist is portrayed like the ultimate evil being, literally Satan in disguise. But in the Bible, that's not quite the case. The term Antichrist only shows up in a few places, and they're all in the letters of John. Even now, many Antichrists have come. And who is the liar? It is whoever denies that Jesus is the Christ. Such a person is the Antichrist. John doesn't describe one Antichrist. He says there are many. And what makes them Antichrists? Denying Jesus, twisting the truth, leading people away from God. They're deceivers, but they're not Satan himself. Satan is the enemy of God from the beginning. The Antichrist, he's more of a human tool, or a figure Satan uses to oppose Christ. Think of it like this. Satan is the puppet master, the Antichrist is a puppet, and the goal is to deceive people and oppose the gospel. Now you might be thinking, but what about the beast in Revelation? Isn't that the Antichrist? Good question. Revelation talks about a beast, a powerful, blasphemous leader. People connect with the Antichrist, but John never calls the beast by that name. In fact, Antichrist never appears in the book of Revelation. Ever. So yes, there may be a final end-time figure who opposes Christ, but calling him the Antichrist is more of a tradition rather than based in Scripture. The Bible isn't just another book. It's complex, layered, and written across generations. To really understand it, we've got to go beyond the text and dig into its meaning. Because when we don't, the truth can get lost in the translation. The Bible doesn't just deserve to be quoted, it deserves to be understood. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a comment and subscribe. Thank you for watching.